What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be reviewing Skull and Bones on PS5. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'll start off by saying that this game has been unnecessarily hated by thousands of people before it even hit the beta stage. Now, a lot of the toxic members of the community decided to judge it before it even came out because it was delayed a couple of times, and then make crazy comparisons to 11-year-old Assassin's Creed Black Flag and 6-year-old Sea of Thieves, which are both completely different types of games to what Skull and Bones is trying to be. This all started because Skull and Bones was originally supposed to be an expansion of 2013's Black Flag, but due to development issues and the team wanted to focus more on the naval combat than land exploration, it became an entirely different game. So if you came here for an angry comparison video or to hear me moan about that, then you're in the wrong place. Instead, I'm giving a fair review of the game by what I'm playing after the official release date, instead of just giving a biased opinion based off past events. So to begin, let me say that this game is pretty fun, despite whatever else you might hear. There are very few other naval combat games out there that work well. Now, Sea of Thieves was a really fun game, and while it had great water animations, the cartoon art style of the game gave it a split audience. It's also completely unfair and stupid to even compare the two games, as Sea of Thieves is a completely session-based game, which meant there's absolutely no consequences to anything in the game at all combat was meaningless, you had no resources when you logged back in, and you lose all of your loot and possessions after you quit again. It was purely about the fun pirate adventure and story, with PvP elements on the side. And don't get me wrong, I had an amazing time whilst playing Sea of Thieves, it just didn't capture my attention for more than a month because I was grinding it for no reason. This is where Skull and Bones is totally different. It doesn't claim to be a pirate adventure, instead it's a naval based combat game with XP based progression. XP in this game is known as infamy, and when you log out you keep all of your resources, cash, loot and XP gained. It's pinned as a live service game with a first year 2024 roadmap already published, which looks strong to say the least. The naval warfare plays out strongly with accurate hit detection and a satisfying feeling when you sink enemy ships. You start off with a very small boat manned by few crew and work your way up to crafting bigger and more powerful ships, each with a role to play, for example DPS, tank or support. There are elements of both on-land traversing and sea exploration. The on-land gameplay revolves around visiting outposts for trading or to speak to NPCs to fulfill quest objectives, with the majority of the game being based at sea. The combination of both types works well, but it's far from perfect. For example, you can collect cannonballs from stack crates on islands to add them to your inventory, but for some reason Ubisoft made the decision that cutting down trees would be done from an on-ship perspective, which might just be the worst decision I've ever seen in a game. When it comes to boarding enemy ships, this is also done via a cutscene when you get close to a ship, instead of having the ability to walk away from the ship's wheel. Again, this is a poor decision, and I'm not quite sure why they went this direction with it after so much development time and criticism from the fans. But credit to the developers for running a closed beta and an open beta weekend to be transparent to everybody on what they would be getting at the purchase. I played 26 hours of the beta and enjoyed my time, and then purchased the full game. It genuinely is a relaxing feeling to sail the seas with your crew who are singing sea shanties, but I wish there was more variety and options on what songs they could play. The addition of fireworks was a nice touch though, so you can let your enemy know when they're in sight. The game is mainly PvE focused, but there are PvP world events where you can face off against other players. It is expected in the future that hopefully Ubisoft will add dedicated PvP servers, but as of day one, it's not yet available and the majority of the experience is PvE. Finally, unlike Sea of Thieves where currency is used only to buy cosmetic items, currency in Skull and Bones is used on both cosmetic items and items to upgrade your ship's attack and defensive abilities. Ship customization is quite in depth, with cosmetic items to change the sails, hull decor, wheel, and there's options to upgrade from regular cannons to special cannons that can flood the enemy's hull for ongoing damage effects. You can also upgrade your tools required for looting shipwrecks, such as the crowbar. Moving on to graphics, there are two modes to choose from, performance mode and quality mode. The performance mode targets 60 FPS and runs at a very smooth frame rate, but this comes at a heavy sacrifice to the graphics and in my opinion is the worst way to play the game. The facial features look considerably worse and the anti-aliasing takes a hit when you look out to the sea, creating a shimmering effect on both the clouds and the sea, which is resolved by switching back to quality mode. Now quality mode absolutely seems to be the way to go on this game, as you still get a 30 FPS frame rate and you have far better graphics. In general, the realistic looking graphics are excellent all round, especially seeing those god rays from the sun, and it's really pleasant to set sail in both a storm or in really peaceful waters looking up at the starry sky. My only complaint is that the water animations for the sea crashing onto the shoreline is absolutely awful. For a game based on water animations and islands, I'm not sure how they made it look this bad. I feel they could have made effort to push it a bit further, but generally speaking, everything else is acceptable and I'm happy with the overall result. In regards to pricing, the game is listed at $69.99 in the US and $69.99 in the UK. There is a free trial available for PlayStation Premium subscribers, although I'm not sure how that works on other platforms. And whilst I feel the price is very steep and should have probably been released £30 or $30 cheaper, I'm glad that they're offering a trial and being open about what you're getting for the cost. Just remember, it's a live service game with an ongoing roadmap, so it's only going to get bigger and better from here. In summary, the game is fun with some decent graphics, and the promising future roadmap looks to deliver even more. There are no doubt some questionable decisions that were made about resource collection and the process of boarding enemy ships, but it doesn't take too much away from the game. There isn't a huge catalogue of naval online warfare games available, so if you're looking for a good online game to play with your friends and have a good time, then this could be for you. And with all that being considered, that leaves this one at a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, I do a whole ton of gaming content with VR reviews and other things. For more, check out the other videos and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.